Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP-led Scottish government have pledged to stay in direct contact with Brussels as a Brexit trade deal is imminent, sparking a rift in Holyrood. Negotiators are continuing to talk in Brussels while Prime Minister Boris Johnson and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen are in close contact to try to resolve remaining difficulties. Both sides, led by Lord Frost and Michel Barnier, are trying to secure a deal before the current EU withdrawal transition period ends on December 31, with a deal set to be secured in the next 24 hours. However, the SNP have been opposed to the UK leaving the EU and have vowed to rejoin the bloc as soon as possible if they achieve independence in a second referendum. The party, which leads the Scottish government, have been at loggerheads with the UK government and Boris Johnson claiming Scotland has been taken out of Scotland against its will. Fishing remains a key sticking point in the negotiations and a hot topic between Edinburgh and Holyrood, especially after the passing of the UK Fisheries Bill, which will manage UK fish stocks after the end of the transition period. Scotland's Rural Economy Secretary Fergus Ewing stressed Brexit would cause the loss of the biggest seafood markets in the EU and the wider damage that it will cause to our coastal communities. He said, "We continue to believe that the best future for Scotland is as an independent nation in the European Union." But speaking in Holyrood this afternoon, Constitution Secretary Michael Russell claimed Scotland was in the realm of the unbelievable with Brexit. Mr. Russell hit out at Prime Minister Boris Johnson for refusing to extend the transition period and claimed, the UK government's refusal to extend transition, despite all the pleas, was utterly foolish, reckless, arrogant and very damaging. Mr. Russell claimed even if the UK was to secure a basic trade deal with the EU, he stressed Scottish GDP is estimated to be 6.1% lower by 2030 compared to continued EU membership. He made clear, this equates to a cost to each person in Scotland of an equivalent to £1,600. We will also redouble our efforts to make sure all our neighbours, understand that we aspire to a better future and are working to achieve it. A senior Scottish government source said this evening Scotland's interests would always be stood up for. They said, "We liaise closely with Brussels and will continue to do so after the end of the transition period."